So, Powell finally said the time has come for interest rate cuts. So, what did it exactly mean for the stock market exactly? So, in this video, I'm going to talk about why this will affect the stock market in a positive or a negative way, and what you can do and how you can really handle your positions. So, I'm going to go in details and see how stock market will really take this news and digest in what kind of trend, negative trend or positive trend. So let's dive into it. The first thing, of course, Powell, the Fed chairman, said very clear. He felt so confident, and finally he's feeling so confident because the inflation is just getting trimmed down, right? So, of course, that made him towards this interest rate cut. Now, as he released that statement, today's stock market acted in a very positive way. It right pumped in a very nice way on an uptrend. But on the other hand, he also said, of course, about the labor market, which is kind of concerning. But again, you don't get everything perfect in this economy, right? It's not possible. It's way not possible because if you get everything perfect, that means your country is literally flawless. So economy is literally flawless. So that's not possible. So something has to be up or down. But bottom line, I'm telling you how the market will react to the entire news because I'm not going to go in details because of course you might be watching some of the videos of about this federal rate cuts and all, but in this video I will explain how the market will react. So that is more important because we are investing in the stock market because this is what we need, how the market will react. So are we going to take more positions, or are we going to trim down the positions, or are we going to just hold those positions? So let's go to the charts here. This is Nvidia's chart. Okay, I'll start with Nvidia, some of the big tech stocks I'll talk about, and why it is important today's meeting and how the stocks will react in coming days. Especially Nvidia, of course, is the most anticipated earnings the stock market is waiting for, right? Yes, as even you know, stock market is waiting for this earnings. Literally, it's one of the biggest earnings, like much bigger than Apple, much bigger than Google or Amazon, because Nvidia is one of the favorite stock, and actually I can say the most loved stock by all investors, including you, me, retail investors, um, hedge funds, institutions, whatever. It doesn't matter. So today's news, of course, it influenced a lot. So the entire stock market, even the nasdaq, of course, S&P 500, it just pumped right after the statement that he's confident, that now he's feeling confident because the inflation is going down and it's time to cut interest rate. But 25 basis point, will that be really enough? Give it a start. Think like this. Of course, he cannot go very aggressively right in the beginning. If he goes very aggressively, trust me, guys, the market would have been crushed, flushed down so bad because there is a process going very nice and slow. So even the Fed chairman, even he feels that we are not doing something really harsh to the market, so the market is really flushing down. So he has to take care of everything because his one sentence, positive or negative, the market will react massively on the either side, on the upper side or on the negative side. So 0.25 basis point was expected today, and that was honestly that was one of the best decision I think so, and very clear. That made the market today pump on the upper side. But again, you might be thinking, some guys might be thinking why the market is really pumping, right? Because the Fed is cutting the interest rates. Well, if they are cutting aggressively, then the market will flush down. But if they are not going aggressively, of course, then the market will react positively. So I think this was a very positive news because he went with the 25 basis point. If he would have started with 50 or 75, that would have been a disaster for the market because the fear in the market would have been increased with a much higher percentage. So then you would have been, of course, that it was a concern really to be scared of. And you have to get rid of the positions if you're especially sitting on the margin or leverage, whatever. So let's see NVIDIA. In next week, Wednesday, we have NVIDIA's earning and where NVIDIA is sitting. Right now, NVIDIA is sitting just shy of $130, right? $130, and it's just wait, $12 away from all times high. So Monday and Tuesday, probably this stock can really go to around like $138. That's highly possible. So I don't think so. It can touch to all times high before the earnings. I don't think so because but it can really hover around this area, $140 or $138. In these two areas, it can really consolidate. I mean, if you go on an hourly chart, yes, it can consolidate between these two areas. But again, guys, if you are investing in NVIDIA or if you already invest in NVIDIA, anticipating that NVIDIA will really come out with some positive news with massive earnings and the beautiful numbers, this stock will skyrocket to $160 very easily. So $160 is coming for NVIDIA, but on the other hand, of course, the entire stock market will pump on the very positive side. But talking about this, we got one more stock that will really get influenced. That is AMD. So AMD will sit around like $174. Is that possible? I really don't think so, but it's highly possible to go to $166 AMD. So these two stocks will get, of course, highly influenced, of course, with each other, especially when NVIDIA is doing, AMD will follow the same trend. So AMD, guys, keep in mind it's one of the best stock after NVIDIA if you really want to invest in chip stocks. I consider AMD over Intel because I don't consider Intel so it's kind of like a boring stock, Intel, but not interesting as NVIDIA or AMD. So let's go back to NVIDIA here. If it goes to $142 just right before the earnings, because believe me, this stock might have a flush down probably to $110 or even $100 just in few seconds at that earnings release. So of course it will have a massive dip and a pump back up that is just to scare the investors, just to scare the retail investors, not the other big whales, just to scare us. You might get rid of the position and they can buy really on a cheap price. So that can be a manipulation in this stock. So be very careful where you're sitting. If you have a position, just don't disturb that at all. It's not a financial advice, it's for education purpose only. But if you have your own ideas, of course, you can join the group. The link is down in the description and you can trade this earnings with us. Believe me, you are gonna love it and you can go safe and you can go hand by hand and in at the time of earnings and you're gonna love it and you get the exit price, entry price, and all the updates of the NVIDIA's earnings. So in the group, the link is down in the description. It's just less than $1 a day. Lock your price because the price will go up. There's just limited seats. I think just 10 to 15 seats are available. Just lock it and the price will go up. Of course, you don't want to pay the higher price, right? So let's go back to AMD and see, will AMD do the same? I don't think so. AMD will really do the same because AMD will only go on the upper side if NVIDIA is going on the upper side. But if it's flushing, of course, so does AMD will do the same. But that would be disaster. Honestly, if NVIDIA is flushing, entire stock market will be red next day. So Fed cutting rate, that was a positive sign today. And finally, that he'll be cutting the rates from now on, but not on a consistent basis. So here we go. So this I want to show you something here. Okay. Joe, chief economist at RSM, called the speech a serious policy pivot, right? is even I do consider that. So he expects like the central bankers will ultimately bring rates down considerably to somewhere between 3 to 3.5% by the latter half of next year. So barring a major downturn. Guys, by next year, of course, by the latter half next year, the interest rates will be sitting around like 3 to 3.5. So that will be around like 2 to 2.5% cut in the interest. No, sorry, not. So 1.5% cut in the interest rates by the next year. I mean, latter next year half. So is that a good sign or bad sign? That is very good because that is not so aggressive. Because if you think that is aggressive, just let me know in the comments below because believe me, because these guys, I mean the guys from the Fed, of course, whoever they are voting inside their members and all, they know very good how to handle the market. They are not so uh, doing something blindly that stock market or the global market would have will collapse. Because of course, with this news today, the entire global market reacted. Of course, because why? Because US has the world's largest economy. Plus, even the stock market is the largest stock market in the world. So everything gets influenced. So they spoke very precisely and very, very good. And they know what to do, honestly, because their each sentence, each word was highly noted. And believe me, when they were talking about the word interest rates, stock market starts to fluctuate. And when they said they're confident that inflation is going down and they are meeting their goals of 2% in the interest rate, of course, the market start reacting very positive, and that gave a nice pump in NASDAQ and almost all the tech stocks. So AMD and Nvidia, I think the good days are about to come, and I think $160 is the price prediction of from my side for Nvidia. And these two stocks will really and massively pump the stock market. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Probably see you in the next video. If you want to know more, you can join the group and trade with us and make profit. But this is how the group looks like, guys. Look, 174,000, 41,000, 105,000. But we trade when they are good trades. We just don't trade like stupids every single time and take unnecessary losses. So the best part about group is we don't take losses, very less losses, because if the market is really honestly worse and ugly, I let all the members know that be careful not to get in the trade because the market is confusing and you might lose money just by gambling in these fluctuations. So the market is clear. We trade most of the times we trade and we make money consistently. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Probably see you in the next video and maybe see you in the group. Come and trade and recover the losses and make your portfolio bigger. No one wants your money. Believe me, only come and trade. You will love it, of course. Thank you and bye-bye.